Be very careful of your moods and your feelings, because there is an unbroken connection from your moods and feelings to your visible world. Feelings are the one and only medium through which manifestations are conveyed to the subconscious mind. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious mind until it is felt. Feeling is the secret, and I'm going to explain this process and how this works, how you can reach the subconscious mind before you go to sleep and throughout the day. And the first thing you need to know about impressing the subconscious mind and manifesting things to come into your life with feeling is that your thoughts, it all begins with your thoughts, and then those thoughts create images in your mind. So whether you know this or not, you're conscious of it or not, your thoughts are creating images in your imagination to automatically start picturing things ahead of itself and start creating your world, all right? And these pictures, these images that come up for your mind from the thoughts, then create feeling states. And this process is very important to understand, especially because feeling is the secret when you're trying to impress your manifestation into the subconscious mind in order to project this in the screen of space, in the hologram, and shift you to that multiverse where you have everything that you want. You must understand that everything that you do is a thought in your mind. There's a thought in your mind, but the thoughts don't really matter. The thoughts don't really matter. It's what the thoughts create. The thoughts create those images in your mind, and then those images create the feeling states that are impressed into the subconscious mind. And then from those feeling states, you are shifted in the multiverse, and then a different world is projected out, and that's the world you're living in. So every thought creates an image. Those images create feeling states. Those feeling states impress the subconscious mind, and that's what shifts you to a different multiverse depending on what you impress. So knowing this, it's so important to know what thoughts are happening in your mind, because once you know what these thoughts are creating, you have to have the discipline in order to change that. Have the awareness of your moods and your thoughts and what's going on inside of your mind. If you're picturing these bad things and negative things, bad things happening to you, these thoughts are negative, those pictures in your mind are going to be negative. The pictures in your mind are going to be negative if your thoughts are negative. And those are going to be pushing you ahead, because this is your imagination at work. The thoughts they activate your imagination, which is God at work. Okay, you're picturing things ahead and you're creating your life based on these pictures that are being impressed, because depending on what pictures they are, that's going to create that specific feeling state. And then that specific feeling state, even throughout the day, is impressing the subconscious mind and shifting you fractionally to different worlds within the multiverse. So the most important thing here is to figure out is your moods. When you are in a bad mood, when you're not feeling good, you need to have the awareness and the discipline to change those things. And I'm going to give you an exercise on how to do this. So I know this from experience that usually if I'm in a bad mood, it's because of something that's happened to me throughout the day, something that came to me and I reacted negatively to it. I saw it in a bad way, and then I allowed the outside circumstances or the outside, hologram itself affect me internally, and then it caused my thoughts to change, and then the pictures to change, then my feeling states to change. Then I'm kind of like lowering my frequencies and energies and just lowering myself to a world where I'm not really happy. My mood is not good. But having that discipline, the discipline and the awareness to notice when this is happening, when something negative happens to me, I have the discipline and the awareness to say, wait a minute, you want to know what? There's nothing bad that's happening to me ever. There's no such thing as something bad that happens. See, I program myself with this belief that there is nothing bad that can happen to me. It may appear to be negative. Maybe it's something that's causing me to have to do something, or, it's something that may hurt me for a split second, maybe make me emotional, but I have to understand, I've programmed myself this way to understand this is happening for my benefit. This may be negative. This may be something that has hurt me emotionally, but it's something that's going to happen. It's something that's going to happen to me after this, that's going to cause something great to happen to me later. So I programmed this belief within myself, and my mood constantly stays positive and grateful and in a state of reception. And when I do this, I notice I've experienced this to work almost instantly, where my life will get better and better, and these negative things start disappearing in my life. They start disappearing in my life because my mood is staying positive. My thoughts are staying positive. The pictures in my mind are staying positive. My feeling states are staying positive. Therefore, I am impressing the subconscious mind with a better world. I'm picturing a better world constantly, because you're only hurting yourself when you react negative. If you look at anything in a bad way, you are only hurting yourself. You're only shifting lower, 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 lowering your frequencies, lowering your energies by allowing this to infect your thoughts and infect the pictures in your mind, which then sends a signal to the subconscious mind and sends you to a world where you don't want to be. Why do you want to let that happen? So what I've figured out is controlling my moods. Learning how to control my moods, having the discipline and the awareness of when something affects my mood. Because if my mood is affected, if I don't feel good, that means my thoughts are not good. That means I am shifting fractionally to a world where I don't want to be. I'm going down when I want to be going up all the time. So you have to have the discipline and the awareness of when you are in a bad mood. And then you have to reflect on this. You have to stop yourself and you have to say, wait, okay, this is what happened. Something happened to me and I reacted negatively, and I'm allowing this thing to just kind of attach to me instead of looking at it in a positive way, that this is happening for my benefit over here. Like driving down the street, you get a flat tire. Your instant reaction is, this is something bad, but maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe this flat tire saved me because I was only going 25 miles an hour when this happened. I could have been on the highway doing 80 or 90. I'm driving and then have a blowout in traffic with a semi next to me. All these other things could be. And then you look at if you change the way you look at your world, it changes everything, because it's not real. Everything you're dealing with in your world is just not real, and it's just based on the way that you're reacting to it. And if you're reacting negative, it literally shifts you to a negative world where more of this happens to you. But if you can look at these negative things that happen, that this happened to save me from something else, or this happened because this is going to happen later, something better is going to happen to me because this happened. And when you do that, everything just changes. And I've witnessed this. I've experienced this to work in my life. And the key to this is having discipline and the awareness of when something presents itself, a circumstance in your world presents itself, and you catch yourself before you react to it. You program yourself to learn how to catch yourself before you react to a negative thing that happens to you. Then you perceive it, or you view it as something negative that's happening to you. You catch yourself and you change that. You say, this is happening for a good reason. And this is a program that you build over time. It could help you very, very quickly, which it did for me. And it also can for you. But you're downloading a different program where you're going to start automatically reacting positively to everything in your life, and your mood's constantly going to be good. You're constantly going to be in a state of receiving great abundance and money and relationships and wealth and health into your life constantly, because illness cannot live in a harmonious body, and lack cannot live in an abundant person. Lack cannot live in an abundant person. Illness cannot live in a harmonious body. And when you download this new program, and when you start automatically reacting this way to everything that happens to you, and you're no longer negatively reacting to anything, it's going to shift you to this world and change and shift your identity. And then you're going to be programming the subconscious mind throughout the day and as you go to sleep at night, because you're manually changing your personality, your concept of yourself, your identity shifting throughout the day, creating a new version of yourself. And as you go to sleep, correcting the self, catching yourself, and changing the way you're reacting to yourself, you're now a different person. And then you're going to impress the subconscious mind with this feeling state of being someone new. And then the next day, the subconscious mind impresses that program into you, expresses a new version of you, and everything gets easier every time you do this. As you change, the subconscious mind then expresses a new version of you, and it's a circle. And then you're programmed with this, and then now your identity has shifted completely, and now you're this person that views everything as beneficial to you. And now your frequencies and your vibrations are constantly climbing, and you're going to that world where you're going to be in a state of abundance, a state of gratitude, constantly receiving great things to come into your life. So remember that your thoughts and moods, your moods and your thoughts create pictures in your mind. They activate your imagination, which is God at work. God at work, and these pictures and these images, whether you know it consciously or unconsciously, are creating feeling states, habitual feeling states that are then impressed into the subconscious mind. And then once those are impressed into the subconscious mind then expresses a different world in the multiverse. So when you impress a different version of yourself into the subconscious, it expresses a new world in the multiverse, shifts you to that world that's corresponding with your habitual feeling states, the images, the moods that you're in, and the way that you're reacting. All right, guys, that's the end of this video, but I'm going to put a card on the screen to one of my favorite sleep meditations that can also assist you to impress the subconscious mind with a different version of you as you're falling asleep. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Is not daring. I go into these states